Hey everybody, Jeff Schneider here, and today I've got a quick tip for you that's going to make any chord you play sound a whole lot more interesting, and this one's really easy to apply, so even if you're a beginner, or especially if you're intermediate or advanced, you're going to be able to make use of this one. This whole video, this whole tip was inspired by my 8-year-old son, who loves to use this word sus. I'm sure if you have kids, you've heard it a lot. Everything is sus, so I thought, why not make a video about sus chords and how they can really transform any chord that you play in a way that you might not have applied already. So we're going to take this, it's not really a reharmonization, but it's an arrangement of Amazing Grace. We're going to call this the basic version, and then we're going to soup it up a little bit with some sus chords. So check it out. Here's what it sounds like. This is just the opening phrase. So we're in the key of F major. F is the 1 chord, then this A7, this is the 5 of 6. A7 leads us into the D minor 7, then the F9, that's the 5 of 4, leads us into B flat major, which is the 4 chord, and then C9 is the 5 in the key of F, which leads us back to F. Now, do you have to know all that music theory in order to make use of this tip? No, but in case you were wondering, that's the basic analysis of this progression. So let's jump into it with the sus action here. Instead of playing F major, we're going to start off with F sus 4. So instead of this, which is F major, we're going to do this. And then you can resolve it. The 4 goes down to the 3. Now let's apply the same thing on the A7. So we have the F major, or F sus, resolving to the A7 sus. And you can resolve it to a regular A7. Hear that D? That's the 4 going down to the 3. All you have to do is, instead of playing the 3rd, go up to the 4. Now you don't have to do it on every chord, like on that D minor 7. I kind of like just going on the D minor 7 right away, rather than doing this kind of a thing. Notice when I do the sus action on the minor chord, the 4 is a whole step above the 3. So G is a whole step above F. Whereas on the F and the A7, because those have major triads baked in, F major, the 4 is a half step above the 3. And on the A7, the D is a half step above C sharp. So the rule to take away from that is, when you have a major triad, you're going a half step above the root. When you have a minor triad, you're going a whole step above the root. In a second, I'm going to show you an even cooler way to apply these suspensions. But first, I've got to let you know that my jazz R&B chord accelerator is on sale right now. It's a collection of everything I know about how to play hip chords for jazz, R&B, neo soul, gospel, everything from how to build a chord voicing to how to craft a chord progression, how to reharmonize, how to take a basic sounding piece of music and make it a whole lot more interesting by using more complex music theory that, if you just kind of try to learn it on your own, it gets really confusing really quickly. So I walk you through it step by step in this collection of materials. It's all of my best stuff in one package at a great price. So if you want to get more of that jazz R&B sound in your playing, definitely check out the Jazz R&B Chord Accelerator. It's on sale just this week, so be sure to check that out. But let's get into these other chords. So far we have this. All right, so I'm doing the same thing on all of these. I've got that 4 going down to the 3. On the F, the B flat goes down to A. On the A7, the D goes down to C sharp. And then on the D minor 7, I did it here as well. The G goes down to the F. As I said, I don't like it that much on this one just because it kind of conflicts with the melody slightly. I've got that crunch right there. In general, I like to give the melody a bit more room to breathe, so I probably wouldn't do this one, but I'll leave it in just for the example of this video. Going into the F9, so there's the B flat, that's the 4 resolving down to the 3. Remember, it's a sus 4 chord, and you resolve it down to the 3rd. And then to the B flat major, B flat sus, E flat is the 4, resolving down to the 3. And then C9, there's the F, that's the sus 4, resolving down to the 3. And then finally, we're back to the F major. F sus going to F major. And without me talking,
So
obviously doing this on every chord is a little bit much. I don't need quite that much movement, but when you sprinkle it in like a little bit of salt, it really does bring a whole nother flavor to your chord progressions. Now here's this other tip that I want to show you on how to soup this up even more. So you take the sus action and then you harmonize it. Here's what I mean. You take the F major or the F sus, resolve it down, right? That's a B flat, the 4 going down to the 3. Now we're gonna harmonize that 4 to 3 in sixths. So instead of just B flat, I'm gonna harmonize it with a D underneath. That's an interval of a sixth right there. And then resolve the D down as well. Oh, so nice. I've got the 4 going down to the 3 and the 6 going down to the 5. But that interval right there, that's a sixth. There it is again, harmonizing that suspension and resolution in sixths. That's the 4 to the 3, the 6 to the 5. This is on a B flat chord, so B flat sus, harmonized, resolving to B flat major. Now another thing you can do is more of a minor harmonization. So check this out. Instead of doing 6, 5 with the 4, 3, you can do a flat 6 to a 5. Check this out. Ooh, real nice. Again. So instead of this, which is 6, 5 with the 4, 3, I'll do a flat 6 to the 5. So that's a slightly more advanced take on this suspension resolution trick. And the other thing is you don't have to resolve the suspension. Sometimes you can just let it hang and then go to the next chord. So for instance, if I'm on this F9 and I do an F9 sus instead, like this, where I have the 4 instead of the 3, I don't have to go down to the 3. I can keep that suspension and go straight from F9 sus to B flat major. I don't have to resolve it. Same thing here. If I have the C9 and I do a C9 sus instead, I don't have to go 4, 3. I can instead just keep it a C9 sus chord and then go to F major or go to F sus or go to F sus with that extra harmonization. So there's a lot of options, a lot to explore here and play around with. If you want to learn more, definitely check out my Jazz R&B Chord Accelerator. It goes deep into all of these cool ways of making your chords sound more impressive, more rich and colorful, and I walk you through it step by step so it's easy to learn, easy to apply, and you're not going to get lost or frustrated along the way. If you want to check out another video, click right over here, and I'll see you over there. Thanks for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.